He's won his last 2 fights at light heavyweight. Let's see what he can do with Stephan Bonnar. There will be some people who will buy it just for the curiosity factor.
All right, well, let's go to the main card, and the first fight we have is Demian Maia fighting Rick the Horror Story.
Okay, I believe Kev's already submitted his pick by Skype chat. Looks like he's got Rick's Story over Demian Maia. Peter, how about you?
Coin flip, I'm going to say Maia.
The reason I'll stick with Maia as my pick is I think he'll have that hometown edge. I think even though we've seen Maia be sluggish in some of his other fights, I think he'll turn it up a notch in Brazil.
Yeah, it's one of those weird fights, eh? It's just one of those things where you I don't know. I'm trying to think of the proper way to say it, but this is a fight where not saying the winners are going to be the fans. You know what I mean? It's not a really good way to say it.
No, I understand your point. So let's move on to Phil Davis and Wagner Prado. Who are you picking in this light heavyweight bout?
Well, this fight took place on August the 4th, ended in an accidental eye poke, so a no contest. The rematch was supposed to be on UFC on FX5, but with the September 1st cancellation and the fallout from that, this fight got pushed back to this show. You know, you look at Phil Davis, who, Mr. Wonderful there, he's a great fighter. Prado's a great fighter. Prado undefeated still because of that eye poke. And this is a fight where I could see both fighters winning. But, you know, gun to my head, you got to pick one, Peter. You got to pick one. I'm going to say, because he's going to have the hometown crowd in his corner, I'm going to say Prado.
Well, no, I'm going to go with Killy Kev's prediction here, and I'm going to pick Phil Davis over Wagner Prado because, one, you can't go with the hometown guy every single time. It doesn't pay off when you do that. And two, Phil Davis was formerly one fight away from being the next number one contender until he ran into Rashad Evans at UFC on Fox, but before that, another one of those guys who had just been on an incredible roll. I mean, he beat Brian Stan, Alexander Gustafsson, Tim the Barbarian Bosch, Rogerio Nogueira. I mean, Phil Davis is legit. And Rashad Evans got by him by out-wrestling him for 5 rounds, but that just tells you the caliber of athlete Rashad Evans is, because Phil Davis is a world-class wrestler from Penn State himself. So I got to go with Phil Davis on this one.
All right. Erick Silva fights John Fitch.
Is that a prediction or just a complaint?
Oh, God. Fitch, you know my problem with John Fitch. He's right up there with a certain Bellator fighter who puts on the most boring of fights.
Are you talking about Ben Askren, Mr. Funky?
Yes. It might surprise you, Stevie. I'm actually going to pick John Fitch, but I'm going to pick him by decision.
Oh, I'm actually going to pick John by decision as well. And, nope, Kev's got Erick Silva over John Fitch, so he's breaking the tie here. He's going with the upset.
All right, well, let's see what's next here. We got Glover Teixeira versus Fabio Maldonado. This fight is a result of 2 fights splintering off, and this is the result.
These days, I'm going to get you to say Glover Teixeira.
Like Jose Aldo and Eric Koch?
Okay, well, that's fine, but it's Teixeira. He's the most talked about man in the light heavyweight division right now because nobody wants to fight him. So learn the name Glover Teixeira because you're going to be hearing it a lot.
Well, unless Fabio Maldonado knocks him in the next week.
Not going to happen. Teixeira gets an easy knockout win here.
Yeah, I'm picking Glover as well in this one. Glover scares the crap out of me, and every light heavyweight should be on notice, and he could be the next big, serious threat for John Jones.
And on top of the fact that Maldonado is coming in off 2 straight losses, he lost a unanimous decision to Kyle Kingsbury and a unanimous decision to Igor Projajic. So going the distance isn't working for him, and Glover is not the kind of guy who's you want to go to the distance with. So he's either going to get knocked out or he's going to lose, and he's going to lose either way. Kev picked Glover over Fabio as well, so clean sweep on that one.
Okay, semi-main event has Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira fighting Dave Pee-wee Herman.
All right, I believe Kev is picking Pee-wee Herman, which kind of surprises me here. But Peter, how about you?
I wonder if he's going to come out to Pee-wee Herman theme music, because that'd be awesome.
He didn't when he fought in Omaha, so I don't know why he would now.
You know, when it comes to Big Nog, I'm wary to pick him because he's one of those guys that, you know, he's in his late 30s. The rumor, him and Wanderlei Silva, they don't train with headgear because they're just that tough. You know what I mean? Like, they're wired a little bit differently. The problem I have with this is that it's in Brazil. If it was in the States, I would lean more towards Herman. But this crowd, Big Nog is going to have just that little bit extra jump in his step. I have a feeling that Big Nog's arm is completely healed from his last fight.
I expect it is too. I know that was a really nasty Kimura, but that was almost a year ago now. I think Nog is ready to go.
It's one of the... Just watching that live, just thinking about it still gives me shivers.
Yeah, well, watching a guy pull his hamstring 5 feet from you and then get knocked out is a little uncomfortable too.
And let's talk about the main event we talked about before. Anderson the Spider Silva fights Stephan Bonnar in the main event, and you know, you'd have to be a crazy, crazy person to pick Bonnar. And I've been called a lot of things, but I'm not that crazy. I'm picking the Spider on this one.
Learned your lesson from Vitor Belfort, huh?
No, I'm not saying that. I'll pick the upset once in a while, but not every time. But there's a difference between picking an upset and just throwing your money in the garbage.
Yeah, well, at least with Belfort, I will give you the benefit of the doubt when you made that pick that you were picking a former UFC champion, but Bonnar is not a former UFC champion, so, I mean, there's just no reason to go stupid. Like you said, you'd be throwing away money to do that.
Well, in Bonnar's defense, he has won his last 3 fights. You know, decision, and a TKO. But he hasn't fought in almost a year. He is getting up there. He is 35 years old. But apparently he is really taking this fight like... You talk about house money, Stevie. This is the ultimate case of playing with house money. He's really got nothing to lose here. And you mentioned earlier Dave Bautista making his MMA debut this past week, and we'll talk about it in a little bit in the news segment. Bautista said Bonnar in training is really taking this fight like 100%, 120%. Like, he is really getting very physical in training for this fight. Like, he's going to go full bore on this one.
Yeah, in fact, I believe Bonnar was the one who was helping get Bautista ready for his fight, and Bautista said his advice to me before the fight was hands up, chin down. So he's going to be pissed off at me because I had my hands down and my chin up.
All right, well, I'm assuming Kev is picking Silva.
Yeah, Kev said if one of us picks Bonnar and wins, we should get 5 bonus points, but I don't think he's picking Bonnar. I don't think any of us are picking Bonnar.
So you're picking Silva too, I imagine?
Oh, yes.